Hello and welcome back to That's What She Said. My name is Mercy. Hope you all are doing good. Today on this episode, we have someone very, very special, a very good friend, writer, director, actor, Ashwath Marimuthu. Welcome to That's What She Said, Ashwath. I just told you not to laugh when I'm doing the intro.
First ball, you put wicket. What will I do?
What wicket I have put? Tell me.
Actor.
After Dragon, you are an actor. You should accept that.
Okay, Mercy, thank you.
But before we get into the episode, I have to tell people how I've been asking for your time for the last 1 month. And finally, you have given me.
I'm very busy, Mercy.
Yeah, like how busy can you get, Ashwath? Like all the questions that I wanted to ask you, all like just before a few days, I think I can't ask that because people have already asked.
That's where I think you should be special. You should find out better questions to ask me.
Yeah, so
And
there is an advantage.
அது already கேட்டாங்களா இல்லையான்றதை I'll tell you.
It feels like a test to me now.
Yes.
Paapom, அப்படின்ட்டு. It's impossible that I would have watched all the interviews that you have given because நான் Instagram open பண்ணா சரி, YouTube open பண்ணா சரி, it's just your face. So it's impossible that I could have watched all those.
Feeling very proud, my friend.
My friend. Yeah, totally. Cool. So before we start, of course, congratulations on
Thank you,
the
Mercy.
huge...
First of all, thank you for having me here. எனக்கு ரொம்ப வித்தியாசமா இருக்கு. நான் நல்லா நடிக்கிறேன், உனக்கு தெரியுதா?
தெரியுது.
Usually, you know what I'm known for in interviews. I'm straightforward. I'm very... அப்படியே ஆன் த ஃபேஸ். ஆனால் எனக்கே லைட்டாக தெரியுது கொஞ்சம் டெய்லி ஆக்டிங் போடுறேன். ஏன்னா இட்ஸ் ஐம் சரௌண்டட் பை பீப்புள் ஹூ நோ மீ வெரி வெல். ஸோ நான் ஏதாவது டப்பா அடிச்சேன்னா மாட்டிக்கிறதுக்கு அங்கே கேமரா வேறு வச்சுருக்கான். ஸோ அதனால் ஜஸ்ட்
for the first time ever, I think நிகேத்தோட ரியாக்ஷன் அப்பப்போ நம்ம காட்ட போகிறோம். அவ்வளோதான், அதுக்கு மேலே பெருசாக இல்லை.
வெரி ஹாப்பி டு பி பார்ட் ஆஃப் யுவர் பாட்காஸ்ட் அண்ட் ஆல்சோ to be inside this house. We have catched up in the same place for a lot of other things.
Correct.
But for interview, you, me and one the crowd.
Crowd நீ ஒரு crowd Niketh.
Crowd reaction.
Yeah, with crowd, live crowd reaction, we are doing this podcast. Dragon almost feels like a, like it's like a personal victory because of course Niketh was a part of it, and in this process I've become very good friends with you.
Yes.
And on this couch, like you said, we have had many conversations mainly about relationships, right?
We had conversation about you have a book. Do you have that book now?
It's somewhere inside.
Makkale, your audience, she has one book of how to split couples when they come here.
Oh my
and she'll send off that book. I'll give you the name of the book by the way. If you at all you want to bring a break between
it is about getting to know each other better. It's not
I've
about
read that book,
splitting
Mercy.
couples.
I've read that book, Mercy.
Fulla kadani padcha.
I told you I'm very honest in interviews.
Very very honest. adukku nee ivlo honest ah irukka vena na nenikiren. But since you have spoken a lot about relationships and also both of your films have second chances as a base. I think we would like to touch upon that. I want to start from the beginning, right? You have spoken about how your parents have been a great support in your life, in your career and everything, and we have spoken a lot from your college days. I want to talk about your childhood, right? Like how was your childhood? And you're also the only child, right? And when you're the only child, there's a lot of kind of expectations from your parents because நீதா ஒரே பையன் தான் இருக்க, எல்லாமே நம்மளோட விஷஸ் எல்லாம் நம்ம பையன் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்ற திங்ஸ் எல்லாம் இருக்கும். How was your childhood? How was your bond with your parents?
Well, actually, when you're a single child, the expectations are very less. You have all the ways to, you will be the one who's in demanding things. ஏன்னா நம்மளை விட்டா வேறு எதுவும் கிடையாது. அந்த திமிரு வந்து இருக்கும். பிகாஸ் இப்போ 2 பேர் இருக்காங்கன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன், the parents can have expectation on one. If that guy doesn't இதுனா தண்ணி தெளிச்சு விட்டு அடுத்தது கிட்ட வந்து இது பண்ணலாம். பட் ரெண்டுமே மோசம்னா ஒன்றும் பண்ண முடியாது. பட் in my case I was late born, like how you see in Dragon. ஸோ அவங்கள பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் நான் தமம் இருந்து பெத்த பையன். So they have to be very careful with me,
Very careful, my friend.
Yeah. See, now coming to the serious part, my parents were actually taking care of my cousins, kids and other people as well.
Okay.
ஸோ கசின்ஸ் அண்ட் இவங்களாம், ஸோ அவங்க அக்கா பசங்க இந்த மாதிரி. ஸோ மை பேரண்ட்ஸ் வேர் ப்ரொவைடிங் எஜுகேஷன், ஸ்டேயிங் அண்ட் எவ்ரி திங். என்னன்னா இவனுங்களாம் வந்துட்டு கொஞ்சம் ஒழுங்காக படிக்க மாட்டானுங்க, நல்லா ஏமாற்றுவானுங்க அதெல்லாம். But somewhere basically itself, like in 5th standard till இது வரைக்குமே, till college itself, I was very studious.
Okay.
So whatever the expectation they set, அவங்க மேலே அது வந்து எனக்கு எப்படின்னா என் பையனும் இப்படி தான் இருப்பான்னு நினச்சாங்க. பட் அது அப்படி இல்லை. ஸோ ஐ யூஸ் டு பி த ஒன் ஹூஸ் கெட்டிங் குட் மார்க்ஸ், like centums and other things, and they used to be very happy. And பெருசா complaints என் மேலே சின்ன வயசில் இருந்தது இல்லை. Not for the naughtiness, I'm talking only about the education part. Then after that my parents both were working in government, central government and state. So எல்லா ரெண்டு பேருமே ட்ரான்ஸ்ஃபர் ஆகிட்டாங்க. So at that point of time I was not able to stay alone, and it felt like ஒரு மாதிரி gloomy and without parents. I was staying with my mom's sister. So எனக்கு அது செட் ஆகல. I was also feeling not great. That is when they decided to put me in Sainik school, military school. So by chance, like நான் military போயிருந்தேன்னா நேரத்துக்கு பார்டரில் இருந்திருப்பேன். இப்போ வேறு வழியில் உங்கள் கூட சேர்ந்து படம் பண்ணிகிட்ருக்கேன். பட் அங்கே போனால் சைனிக் ஸ்கூலில் வந்து have to write exam.
When did you go there?
So I wrote my 8th standard Sainik school exam, I guess 8th or 7th, I don't know. அதில் வந்து if you get into it, you can get into this army. Air Force and everything. பட் அங்கே வந்துட்டு ஸோ ஐ ப்ரிப்பேர்ட் வெரி வெல் 1 year. பட் எனக்குன்னு ஒரு நக்கல் இருக்குது, which your husband knows. அதெல்லாம் பார்த்துக்கலாம் அப்படின்ட்டு. ஸோ what happened is I actually went and I wrote the exam. I wrote extremely well. It's a 3 hours exam. Almost 2.5 hours I finished இது. So there are 2 subjects, English and Maths. I thought 3 hours for this and 3 hours for that. I took break and all. Can I take leak? Anyways, I have half an hour. Then I came back and said, they said last half an hour. Only then I realized I have to finish Maths paper also by then. So basically I didn't clear. But I studied very well. Like you say in Dragon, no? The guy studies very well, but he couldn't. It was because of my knuckle. So
அது கொஞ்சம் இருக்கு, அப்பப்போ வந்துட்டு தான் இருக்கு.
So I didn't get through. So அதுக்கப்புறமா another exam I wrote. I mean another school, which is Montfort. So Montfort எப்படின்னா ஃபுல் ஒன்லி ரிச் பீப்புள் ஆல். அதாவது நான் பென்ஸ் கார்லாம் அப்பயே பார்த்துருக்கேன் கண்ணால், பென்ஸ், ஆடிஸ் அண்ட் அதர் திங்ஸ். நாங்கள் மட்டும் ஒரு எங்கள் அம்மாவோட கவர்மெண்ட் ஜீப்பில் வந்து அப்படியே போவோம், அப்படியே ஸ்டைலாக. த திங் இஸ் தேவர் மிடில் கிளாஸ், பட் தே வாண்டட் டு கிவ் மீ த பெஸ்ட் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ். ஸோ இட்ஸ் லைக் part of their yearly salary goes to my school.
Right.
Benefits of being a only
child.
Yeah. I'm connecting that.
Yeah.
So like you have 8 uniforms, like you have to have 8 sets, like one trunk box. நீ அந்த இந்த ஃபிலிம்ஸ்ல எல்லாம் பார்த்திருப்பல, ஹாக்வர்ட்ஸ் இந்த மாதிரி all this boarding school films, big trunk box and everything, like so Monday to Friday one uniform, Saturday one uniform, Sunday one uniform, evening uniform. Other than it's a different life that I actually experienced because of them in my childhood, which is Montfort. I would say whatever I am right now in terms of if I'm very social, I'm able to be friends with people, and I'm able to connect easily with people. Now it's because of that. And I'm able to talk, I'm able to handle the stage well, everything, and overall growth. For example, if not 10th standard board exam appo, it's not mandatory you should study till night. Whatever happens, நீ படிக்கவே இல்லைனாலும் 9:30 நீ போய் தூங்கணும். அதே மாதிரி மார்னிங் 5:30 எழுந்து you can go to play games also.
Discipline.
It's like what we lack right now, waking up at this time every day, going to sleep at this time. In the routine இருக்குல்ல, now the biggest thing about if you talk to doctors and everything, you have to set up a routine is the biggest thing they talk. I think my 7 years of my life was a routine. Waiting for a day to get out of the so everything was like, okay, this day I have to go out. Now we are like, any day we can go out, any day we can eat anything. So that routine was set over there. Discipline was set over there. Somewhere like all the extracurricular activities, everything came from there. I think I'm more of this individual because of Montfort. The childhood was majority of that. And for my parents to afford that was the biggest because it's not easy. You being in this, you know how costly it is. I can say, give an example. In 2003 the cost of 1 year's education used to be 1,75,000 per year. You understand, right? Niketh, I think how much you paid? 5,000 for your school?
I think 30,000 a year.
See,
so that's
5
like,
times. So that kind of a thing. So or it kind of like gave an overall experience. My childhood was mostly around that, and you always have that place to not be right over there because nobody is forcing you to study or whatever. But over there I scored well. I studied well. I got centum. I also took care of my other things, tennis, everything. So I think my foundation was very strong, which we are talking in Dragon also. Your foundation has to be strong. My foundation was very strong.
Correct. When we are talking about childhood, right, something I feel, and I have also seen in like few people, when you're in your school, there are certain traits or certain things that you do, and I feel those things that you grow up to be doing that, right? Like now you're a filmmaker, but you are also very good in academics. Was there any instances or a memory that you can think of during your childhood that you had interest in writing or somewhere in this form?
I have this attention seeking problem, which you are both are very well aware of. Correct?
Yeah,
So it is common for every artist. It is common. So at my school times, every year, they'll ask you, no, tell your name and tell what you want to become. I'll always try to tell something unique from the class.
Okay.
I'll have options, like everybody should look at me at that point of time. So I one day have told I want to become like Vivek, actor Vivek, comedian.
Okay.
So that, there extends the topic. Another year I wanted to become a pilot. Another year I wanted to become a tennis player. Every year it was different. Never, but I have told I want to become a director because I don't know what a director is at that point of time. To be honest, I thought actors are acting. It's like, that's all. It's over. When now somebody feels that actors are acting, what does that mean? That is when, your stomach burns. But technically at that point of time, you don't know. When I used to be like that in my school, and this attention-seeking activity came like every time before you go to 10th, 9th standard, you don't need to study because anyways you'll be
pass.
But they conditionally promoted me in 9th standard.
Oh.
Because I was acting, I didn't write the exams probably, I failed and other things. So conditionally promoted means first unit, first quarterly, you have to pass in all your subjects. Otherwise you'll be sent back to 9th standard. So there is one guy called Sharan who used to always get first rank from 3rd standard in Montfort in my batch.
Okay.
And there is one guy called Vignesh Shanmugam who used to get 2nd rank. Okay. So it's always this guy 1 and this guy 2nd.
Okay.
There's always a problem between 1 and 2. Not just in films, anywhere. There's always 1st and 2nd. So Vignesh always has a problem about this thing, the 2nd. So Sharan used to get always the 1st rank. This is a very interesting thing. So I was conditionally promoted and these two guys are the topmost in the academics and I'm conditionally promoted. Now I'm in stake where I should study.
Yeah.
So what happened is what happened is Sharan lost around, in one of the subjects, he came around 85 or 75 something.
Okay.
So it was very clear that Vignesh is going to get the 1st rank for first time.
Okay.
Entry, Ashwath, over there.
Okay.
Because I was conditionally promoted, I had to prove myself. I studied, mugged, did everything possible in that exams and I got the 1st rank.
Oh, okay.
Like by 5 marks or 6 marks more than Vignesh. You should see how Sharan was cool because he was always scoring 1st rank. Vicky, this guy Vignesh was gone. I still remember Kalai, his best friend, who got scolded by him badly when he tried to say it's okay. I still remember that image and I got the 1st rank and it was a shock for everybody. There's 2 things on this. Here I'm seeking attention because there is stakes. Now I got the 1st rank. Now I don't need to prove anything. Again I went back to 12th rank or 13th rank in the next exam.
Right.
Okay, Vignesh got 1st rank from there. What I'm trying to say from here is there is something called when I'm put under pressure, that is when I actually work.
You like to work under pressure.
So with respect to Dragon, me and Pradeep decided we'll do this film. I decided to do this film for him. Thank you to your husband who was busy with the other film, who got extra dates and you said you can't give dates for my film. I was like asking production for extra 1 month and I bought some time, May. So I have been put under a stake where like I have to go for shoot. Correct. If at all this pressure was not there, I would have been wasting like 2 years, again another 2 years. So if that, for me, I think I need to be put under pressure. There's a line segment. This is where it starts, this is where it ends. If that is only defined and there's somebody like a boss, which is the production, AGS, who tells me, no, whatever happens, we have to go to shoot. That is when I think I'm very, very productive. Else, I have all the reasons to sulk. I have all the reasons to not just...
Technically, I was the reason you got some more time.
No. I was actually using you to buy some time. You can put it that way.
Both are the same.
எவ்வளோ guilt trip பண்ணிருக்கான் தெரியுமா
என்ன சொன்னா?
Every time he calls me up, I'll be like, when do you have to shoot? In another 20 days. He'll give me that kind of...
That is to get your date. That in 20 days, if I say, you will get your dates.
Copy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I told you, if you connect right now, like let me sum up. in school everything was periodical. I have to wake up no matter what because everybody else has to wake up. I have to go to sleep at this time. So there was a constant thing which was on top of me. And I think I'm a very bossy person. I need to be bossed, otherwise I think I take control and I can waste time.
Okay.
Which has happened like in between. Like, you know, I took my own sweet time to write and other things. So this is the thing when I'm realizing it as I talk to you. Because this question was very interesting. I was going back in my time to see what actually connects. I think this putting pressure.
Yeah, got it.
I need to be under pressure. That's why in my interviews when I ask, are you under pressure? If they say I like pressure, I think it is all this because when I'm in pressure, I think I'm more productive.
Efficient, yeah. Got it. But also when you were talking about...
Mercy, you're a psychologist, Mercy. You kind of, you know, I remember without this mics, one day you made me think I'm a patient.
Patient?
Yeah, I have this
had some deep
disorder.
conversations,
Disorder. I went home after talking to a nurse and a doctor. There.
Yeah, actually for a few days you were calling me nurse, I remember.
Now again in this conversation, it feels like, okay, therapy session.
No. So, no,
we
but...
just reminded you of your age.
இந்த அன்னியன் படம் பார்த்திருக்கியா? அதில் வந்து இது ஒன்று சுற்றிட்டே இருக்கும். எல்லாம் அப்படியே சுற்றிட்டே இருங்க. உங்களுக்கு என்ன வருது மானச சஞ்சர மியூசிக்கல் ஸ்டார்ட் அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கு.
But no, interesting thing that I got out of what you said is that how you've been saying very openly that you love the attention and you are an attention seeking person, right? Like people don't say that out very easily, right? And one more thing that from what I've known of you is that you say out things very like you think out very loud, right? Like இப்போ உன்னோட thought ஏதாவது போயிட்டு இருக்குதுன்னா you actually say that out. You actually wear your heart in your sleeve ன்னு சொல்லலாம். That quality of yours is, for friends is very endearing, right? Like I'm like, wow, like, he speaks அப்படியே என்ன தோணுதோ அப்படின்ட்டு. But when you're like this on social media or when you're like this on a public platform, do you think you kind of get misinterpreted?
Definitely it will happen. Like I was misunderstood at the starting when I was putting tweets.
Exactly.
When I used to tweet, for example, theatre kalakattum அப்படினு ஒரு tweet போட்டேன். People அதெல்லாம் எப்படி like correct. Some people, because my intention is not to say, see, I made an amazing theatre அந்த இது இல்லை. Theatre kalakattum is because the theatre is going to celebrate this. When you hear it in my voice, when the camera is front of me, it is completely different.
Correct.
Or if you hear my audio, it's completely different. That's why there's a lot of difference when you type and there's a lot of difference when you talk. So when I was tweeting before the interviews, somewhere I was misunderstood, where I was thought like I'm somebody who's like very little arrogant, little the types. Slowly when my interviews started to come, people started enjoying my interviews for the same reason which you think I thought, or anybody would think like I'm being very open. I may be hated, but slowly people started loving that. Because one thing, Mercy, like, audience are nothing but you, him and everybody. It's just that there are some faces which can be misunderstood. Like your husband also. Like, I when I met him, he looks like one guy who's like, I'm a hi-fi guy. I don't do with you. But after, like, being with him, I understood he's one, I can just handle him like this. I can hold his kudumi like this. It's like, it's that body language. Your body language speaks that, sometimes when you walk, it looks like it's attitude. It's because of your size. It's because of the way you're carrying your weight. It looks like that. It's the same way. But your cameras and it cannot lie. That's why when you make a film, people cry to that film. People love that film. People like the emotions. It's because now when I tweet, people will like my tweet.
Yeah.
People, because they know my voice. They can
correct.
They can connect with my voice. How would I put? This happens in scripts also. So basically when I type a scene, I have an assistant who told the father scene, which is most celebrated now, sir, konjam overa irukku sir, nalla illa sir abdintu.
Okay.
And in the starting, this full comic scene is there, in the bachelor room where this intercut where he gives the money. Over there, he's like, there's no. For example, when this Pombala Soka character says in the film, okay, but in the script it'll be okay da.
Okay, but
so
the way
it'll like, what is okay da? Nothing big in this. Okay da. That is sarcasm.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
But it can't be only when I direct it and I show it the way you can understand. So that is the difference between what is in paper and what is in that's the difference between what is in tweet and what is in visual. So people slowly started liking me for being who I am. That is more important. It's very easy to fake mercy. I can just be like this. Oh wow. Oh nice. I can do all this nonsense. No, true, but you know, okay, he's faking. So it's better
that's actually so true. Like it's very well put, honestly, because I feel what you said, right? Like it's easy to be honest than to fake it, because a lot of people do have a.
This has longevity. If you see some actors also. For example, since I am working with thing, I can either. I remember one of these days, one of these tweets I put. Yesterday call me. Ashwath, நான் சொல்கிறேன் 10 வருஷத்துக்கு முன்னாடி நீ அதே மாதிரி தான் இருந்தேன், என்னை போட்டு அடி நடிச்சிருக்காங்க, நான் பண்ண தப்பெல்லாம் நீ பண்ணாத. He was advising me. I was like, you were like this only, no. But why should, but I took what he was trying to, because he's being like a mentor who's trying to say either. But I have my friends like Pradeep who's like, bro, you be who people will like you, because he knows. It slowly it is either. So there's two things which I took from my team, which is you guys, to be who I am. And other is from a man who has been just like me like 10 years back. And when I get appreciated for anything, and that man calls up and says, super. Slowly people understand. The thing is why I quoted him is because you cannot hate Simbu. People all like him because of his
he's
very
his
open
personality.
He's very open.
Correct.
And maybe initially you may take him wrong, but now people like his personality. There is people who have been like this, and it's okay to be like this is what I felt. And sometimes when you're asking questions, you want honest answers from the and there's no point of otherwise doing interviews.
Correct.
And people want you to see the real you, and this, when the real you is this, you cannot fake it.
Interesting. Wow, it's actually going in a very interesting way.
I like it.
One more thing that I've seen so far from the times we have spent time and everything, you're someone who's the definition of YOLO, right? Like you only live once. Edavadhu pannanona inniki pannalam. That kind of an attitude, I feel you have it.
You don't know what YOLO is. youth ன்னு சொல்லிட்டு
Pookie, ennachu Pookie?
YOLO.
You only live once. Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what is a tuck
that,
box?
right?
Do you know what is a tuck box? You know what is a refectory?
But now he's coming up with words. He's like, do you know what this is? No, I don't know.
Okay,
but we are talking about YOLO, which I feel is very much you.
I have anxiety disorder. Fear of something will happen. I don't have depression. And I also feel this work that we do is you're doing something genuine, what you want to do, because it's not boring and you're making money out of it. There ends my passion and work. My like and everything else is, like I told you, it's elsewhere. Like if I make so much of money and if I'm like done with so much of ideas that I'm done, I'm happily ready to go and settle, like and travel the world wherever I wanted, like spend a lot of time having fun. Because why are we earning? Why are we making money?
To have
I don't
fun.
want to save it for my 10th generation to come and sit and abuse all my money and enjoy. I want to abuse all the money I
Correct.
make.
Makes sense.
I'll save it for my kids, whatever they need, and education, whatever like my parents gave. All those is sorted. But I don't want my 10th generation to come in a Ferrari car and say, hey, how is it? You understand? I want to go in Ferrari.
Correct.
So basically, which means like, I know there will be a question. If at all your parents thought like this, would you be like this?
No, but not at all. Not
that
at
is
all.
them. This
but
is me. I'm being very honest. So we need to.
So you do have this attitude, right? That's what I'm trying to get at.
200%. Because it's not. I think everybody has this, and my primary. If you had come to my house, you would have seen. It's a wonderful life. The life, we being born, we being in this space, you having a partner, you having a dog, you having this setup, you able to breathe, everything itself is a mere miracle.
True.
We don't know how all this is happening. We don't know. There's so many miracles that is happening. How life is coming out of it. You can say it is coming out of womb. Not that I'm saying. How everything is happening is a mere
coming together.
A lot of things. So your life is wonderful. how it becomes wonderful is because of the how you make it.
Yeah.
If you want to sulk in one corner and sit and cry the entire day thinking your life is bad, then your life is going to be miserable.
Right.
But if you accept whatever has happened, but still there's a beautiful world outside and you're going to go enjoy,
Yeah.
have fun, do
Yeah.
whatever things you want, be with people whom you like, be around, make them happy, you be happy, is where the life becomes wonderful.
Yeah.
And the film's name is It's Wonderful Life. And that is my inspiration to come to make films also. And that's why I think my films always gives a hope.
Correct.
Where it is all intertwined.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think even with the second chances,
Yeah.
when you ask me about it's only one life, if people think I have problem with second chances, I want second chance in my life. Actually, no. I'm just trying to tell the audience, you don't need second chances in life. You can always make it right up front. From here, this moment, you can make it all right.
Right.
And you can have a wonderful life from there. It's just that you need to accept what has gone wrong and what is going wrong and correct yourself and move on. So I think everything is intertwined to this one part, the second chances, YOLO,
Yeah.
It's a Wonderful Life. Everything comes to a point where we need to celebrate our life because
Correct.
we're just going to
Yeah.
live once.
Yeah,
And
true.
maybe we'll have afterbirths and other things, but you will never be aware
For
of
now,
anything.
yeah, we don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
correct. Yeah, true. So you mentioned about hope, right? You've been talking a lot about hope as well in different interviews, and of course, Dragon gives a lot of hope. Was there any moment in your life where you felt hopeless?
Obviously.
Is there anything that you can tell
Yeah,
us?
yeah. But I've told this in one more interview, but maybe.
Sorry,
but
Ashwath,
it's
ನಾನು interview
interesting.
பார்க்கல.
Yeah. No, but this dialogue is there, no? Where the father says, அப்பா நான் இருக்கேன் பார்த்துக்கலாம் திரும்ப எழுந்து ஓடு.
ஆமா.
It doesn't come சும்மா நேச்சு இது. It has happened, but in a different way. Like for example, I told you I got 97% in 12. For me, I wanted to get like the topmost. I think I would have lost around 6 marks in physics because I know I didn't write that. I came back home. I thought my father, everybody was going to be angry. My father said, it's okay, your health matters. I was crying or something in 12th standard. I was like, your health is more important. This and all is okay, leave it, we'll do. I never expected that because, they saw me studious, they know I put my
Yeah.
work. So இதுதான் அப்பா நான் இருக்கேன் பார்த்துக்கலாம்.
Correct.
Like, just take care of your health. It's so enough, more than everything, அதுதான் முக்கியம் அப்படின்ட்டு. So that is where I think that has started. Where what do you prioritize and other things. So that was a big thing for that point of time. அப்பா பார்த்துக்கலாம். So when I lost hope, maybe இதுன்ட்டு, I felt like, yeah, okay, 12th standard board exams, 5 marks you lost, so what? It's okay, there is a life up front. Then after that, being in this industry, me, Pradeep and another friends of mine, we used to go for all this audition, with the script.
Narration.
Narrations. I remember going to one production house, like I waited almost close to 7-8 months for that one appointment. I used to follow up with the office boy for that one narration with one production house. And I went for the narration after 7-8 months. Pradeep has already gone for the narration. He was chucked out in the first half.
Okay.
After when he started in the second half, basically when they feel it's not right, they'll stop. For Komali it happened. Then another friend of mine, Kamal, in half an hour his thing got stopped. I went after like waiting more than them, like for 7-8 months. I was stopped in the first 2 minutes. In Omakale, the first shot will come where you establish the bar and then you go inside to show the friends. No, he stopped me right there, saying that why you're telling stories about somewhere up. Tell me stories that is happening here. And he gave one reference of a film which I don't want to name. Give me film like that. I will never make a film like that ever in my life. I don't want to tell it will become and that particular film is not a right example, honestly. I was offended, but I don't know how to handle it. But that 8 months period for that one narration, and I had to come back in the hot sun and 3 of us just going the AVM, it felt like you'll say, no, cinema is very tough, dude. It's not for us. Like, like the lighting of heat, extreme heat, dust on your face in the bike, full hunger. And there's this AVM Murunda that is rotating and you have completely lost it. That was a hopeless moment. But I always know when your foundation is very strong and you're clear of what you want to do and not compromise or anything, things will change. That is when we decided we itself do the film.
Yeah.
And I did it with Ashok, and he itself produced along with Delhi Babu sir Hopeless moments will give hope to a different route. Again,
Yeah.
I think it's a better way that I put. And it will give you a different life, which I'm actually having right now. And the same producer, in fact, the producer didn't hear the story. He had a man who heard the story.
Okay.
The producer came up to me and said, Ashwath, I wanted to remake your film. In this line, I said, sir, I came with the original film to you only, but you didn't.
Yeah.
What? I didn't know. No, the person who you kept for didn't listen to the script. So the problem lies with him not wanting to listen the entire film and judging it with the first shot.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
So that it will definitely take your hope, but sometimes that's where those things just pave a new path.
True. I remember you telling me this when you were in Europe.
Yeah.
When you started telling me the stories, when I got reminded. But it'll be interesting for people to listen. Both of your films, right, have relationships as a very important factor. I cannot call Dragon as a romantic film, but relationships are a very important factor in Dragon's life. Do you consider yourself a romantic person?
Obviously,
Okay.
like you cannot be unromantic while making a romantic film, first of all, because இப்போ ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் இப்போ ட்ராகனில் இந்த டேட் சீக்வன்ஸ் இருக்குல்ல,
Yeah.
இது என்ன படித்தா வரும், அவமானப்பட்டு தான் வரும். டோன்ட் யூ நோ டு ஓப்பன் த டோர் ஃபார் அ கேர்ள் மேன், இதை நான் கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கேன், பண்ணியிருக்கேன். From then on, I know, like, you have to open the door. Then after that, the first thing a woman likes is a compliment. இதெல்லாம் like, you know, you learn.
You have to experience it,
Yeah. More than romance, I think I feel the entire movies and everything, it all comes down to women. For me, at least for me, for a lot of filmmakers, if you say Mani Sir's films, the plot and everything will be something else, but the driving force will always be a love.
Yeah.
And wars have been fought, wars have been won, wars have been stopped in the middle.
Yeah.
Everything is for women, romance and everything. I think it's a very deep emotion. I think if you say Dragon, the guy's path changes because of women. Again, after at one point of time, his path changes again because of women. Again, he becomes a better guy because of women. He runs again to make his things all right for another woman. So women is the driving force of my film. Though the want of the film is something else, of wanting to get a degree that he faked to get it in the right way, but why is always women.
Yeah.
In Oh My Kadale, it's the same. He has to go back in time for a woman. So there was in discussion, one question was asked to me, well, in Oh My Kadale, like before making the film, he's getting second chance in life. He can do so many things in life now. Why is he going for a girl? The film is centered around that. The film is centered about him going for the life that he wanted. If I want him to go stop a attack being happening in it's a completely different film.
Correct.
So that was baseless. But I'm saying the heart of the film is always romance, love, whatever you can put it. And I strongly believe a deeper emotion is attached to it, and everybody becomes relatable. If I'm doing a film and a point of view of a woman, I'll make it in the same way for a guy. The girl's aspiration on this guy, the romance for this guy, it'll be that way. I'm saying whatever the driving force will be, the love, the emotion around it. I think it gives you a lot of story. The guy can do anything in life he wants, or the girl can do anything in the life he wants in the story, when the base is love. Because love la logical, the magic. I believe in that.
Okay.
Until some point of time, but now I say it's more practical.
As we grow older, I think it becomes,
like you're basically as per your age.
Yeah.
That's why if you see, if I tell you something interesting, the protagonists of my film evolve along with my age. Like Dragon, if you see, it would be
college
somewhere
love
to
madri,
Angaramachu,
ama,
but at this point of time maturity.
Correct.
Oh My Kadavale will also be around this age. I like to tell stories about what I've experienced, what I've seen, what I'm going through in a different world altogether. Somewhere it becomes more relatable.
Purida, yeah, of course. So you've also, of course, you've mentioned that Dragon is inspired from your life and stuff like that, right?
My
So
next
when I
film
see
is
Dragon-
inspired by you and Niketh. Hasn't he told you? If you cut,
Paakumbo
don't
theriyum,
cut this.
Aprama will be like, aha, what is he writing? I really want to know.
Your
now."
husband is a big romantic guy.
He is.
Sometimes not with words, but with actions.
Yeah, actually not
In
with
words,
words
he's,
at all.
in words, he's very bad because
He
one
is.
at one day when he's in Hyderabad, we're shooting in Hyderabad, you called him.
You remember that?
Yeah, you remember. You're like, oh, you're already mind. And
Yeah.
you're like just wanting somebody to talk.
Yeah,
He's
true.
trying to console you, telling a very bad joke or bad moment which annoyed the shit out of you, and you just said, just shut the fuck up and be quiet.
Yeah,
I remember that. So I know he's very bad with his words.
yeah, really bad. with
Yeah,
his
but
words. But yeah, actions, correct.
yeah.
True.
But in actions is great. I think somewhere my next films, drama, somewhere the theme comes down there.
Okay, interesting. But yeah, coming back to this, how you mentioned that, it's inspired from your life. Dragon is inspired from your life. And when I see Dragon, throughout the film, he's a little bit nariyave red flag down, right? In the end, of course, he realizes and he does things in a very good way. So when I see that, I want to ask you, have you been told by a person that, hey, you're a red flag? Or like, you got out of the relationship and you thought, naanu oru toxic person ah irundiruken.
No, I've never been a toxic person in a relationship.
Don't tell me you've never been a red flag. We
I'll give
all
you
are red flags in
I'll
some
give you an
way.
example.
Huh.
In college,
Huh.
okay, I used to like a girl. Like, have you seen Oh My Kadavale? Why do you think all the films end up in a birthday video or a birthday sequence? If you see
Okay.
Oh My Kadavale, the hero goes along with Anu
Yeah, correct.
for a
Road trip.
for a birthday video.
Correct.
Putting in the effort to get videos, and at the end of the day, somebody else proposes in the video.
Amma.
It has actually happened in my life.
Abdiya.
Okay, so the same gang of friends, Pambu, Anbu, everybody were there. So I remember shooting one guy's video for a girl I liked in school, college. It's like infatuation types. So it's 19th birthday, so 19 gifts I wanted to give that girl, and the final one was this video.
Cute boy you are, Ashwath.
See, no red
Cute
flag.
fellow.
No red flag. So 19th is this video.
Okay.
So I went and shot everywhere. I'm so tired, I'm exhausted, and I find this guy, and I'm keeping the camera. You tell, bro, what should I tell? Tell whatever comes from the heart. He said, I love you. To the video. I was like, what did you say? No, I love you, and it's been some time that, I wanted to convey through this video. He proposed.
Oh my goodness.
I should have just actually deleted that video.
But
But
you went
instead,
and
I
showed.
like to be I want people to keep a statue for me. So I went and kept that video and in the tether, and I personally showed her that video, and she started crying and she hugged me and said, thank you for this video because I also love her. And I was like, and I was like, okay, what a man you are. See, what a.
Nee unak sollitta,
But
come
the
on
next
down.
point is here story doesn't end here. This Pambu and all these friends are there. No, macha, you're going out on date. This what a car I used to have, Indica. It's like, you go out on a date. Because I already planned a date and all these things. It's like, instead of, so I told her, you come with me. Let's go on a date. But let's go out. Abdin sollte. I still remember. So my friends think this girl is going out with me for dinner.
Okay.
And they're saying bye and sending me off. But actually, I'm taking her to meet that guy
Oh my God.
in rainforest.
Look at Niketh's reaction.
In rainforest. So I made them both meet.
Okay.
And I'm sitting in
You are basically
in
that
Bessan.
Jyotika in
Listen,
Jillin or Kadal.
I'm sitting in Besanagar, sitting nicely, seeing the waves, crying. My friends are calling. Macha, எப்படி போகுது
I
date?
can totally imagine you do
My
that.
friends are like, எப்படி போகுது date? மச்சா, எப்படா போகுது? Super. பயங்கரமா disturb பண்ணாதீங்கன்னு சொல்லிட்டு I was like sitting there.
Wow.
Then one senior also saw me sitting over there. I said, please don't tell I'm sitting here. Then after that, after they both met, they had the date. I took that girl again, went and dropped her safely in
Green flag guy only you
But
are.
the thing is, I thought this everything went for waste. But no, it happened to be the pre-climax of Oh My Kadavale. But I put it in a way where it became,
Yeah.
if you hear it in this way, it becomes very dummy. Yara. But if you see it in a grandeur filmy way, it looks. Moral of that point is, when you like somebody, it's okay if they don't love you also, but you can be honest for one statue.
Now he's talking too much. No, now he's talking
no.
So, moral of the story is...
No, why do you want my life to be always a comedy, bro? So I just want to tell, I'm not a red flag. I'm a green flag.
Yeah, you're a green flag. You're the green flag guy.
But I'll tell you where my red flag is. I thought this idea was brilliant. Birthday video. So I thought, okay, I wasted on this girl. Let me not waste it. So
You made that video
for some other girl. And for another girl. I think I made almost...
That's not a red flag.
I made almost 7 birthday videos.
Like for different girls?
Yes.
at the same time.
No. Period
like,
of time.
Idea work agala.
Idea.
Thirupi use பண்ணுவோம்.
Like how
reuse.
like how I'm like playing around with second chances and it's working. I played around with this birthday video that is working very well. And finally it clicked with one girl, but again we broke up.
Yeah.
So now I don't have energy for birthday video. I'm like, somebody make birthday video for me, go.
No, definitely, yeah. No, that actually brings me to the next question, right? So how the idea of love keeps evolving as we grow up, right? Like teenage la school la irundha varaikum, like idhaan love appdi nama nenichirupom. College la it would have changed. Now in our 30s we have an idea of love and this is what we want. How has your idea of love evolved over the years? And right now, current Ashwath, what does he want out of a relationship?
Okay, before this question, I was just telling you the humor part, but where I'm maybe a red flag is, because I was that character dragon, where I was like all this attention and other things. When you see it from a girl's point of view, she'll feel very insecure about having a life with me.
Okay.
Because I'm all this, have years, I'm like all this, but there's no... I look very irresponsible. I think that girl rejected me saying I'm very irresponsible guy.
Same like Keerthi did.
Yeah, irresponsible and other things. So I've had this word, and when I hear it, that irresponsible, at that point of time it felt hard. I was like, I wanted to give back. But if you see in the Dragon, I kept on dialogue where he tells to Kutti Dragon, like to the younger version of myself, like what I tried to say is, இந்த மாதிரிலாம் சேட்டப் பண்ணால், இந்த மாதிரிலாம் கெத்து காமிச்சிட்டு சுற்றினா பொண்ணுங்களுக்கு நம்மளை ரசிப்பாங்கடா, ஆனால் லைஃப்பில் செட்டில் ஆனால் தான் நம்ம கூட வாழணும்னு நினைப்பாங்க, புரிஞ்சுக்கூட. It came out of experience. This is the evolving phase. The entire 10 years of my life, I put it in one dialogue, which is this. Because if you see a guy like me in that point of time, all famous among boys and everybody and other things, but wantedly bunking classes and everything for this attention, doing all nonsense and expecting a girl to like me. I think my college was not all very, very brilliant, very calculative. So they were right in their thing. Like women need two things. I feel like they need to feel safe and secure around a guy. I think I was not giving both. I think the first part at least okay, but not secure, I guess. So I think that's what I kept as one dialogue in the film, and I think that sums up the 10 years of what. Like the shift that happens in your life, and you evolve to realize that you are a red flag.
Right,
Actually, I'm a red flag. I was a red flag.
Cool.
Yeah.
No. So I want to know right now, what do you want in a relationship?
At this point of time, with respect to my life, I think I can boldly say, like, the first time how you love, you go mad, fall. Since I've done all those things, you cannot do that again, because it's a vacuum. Again, you cannot. There should be something new.
Cannot endradhu vida I feel different.
No, the effort. Like I put too much effort into my relationship that I don't think so. I can do that again. The same things, that same mad. Like mad. Now it is more about being practical.
Practical, yeah.
So that's how even Dragon and Oma Kadale say. Dragons, Oma Kadale's dialogue is love la logic part kuda, the magic. She leaves everything in the last minute and comes for him, because there's that point of time. Now, after going through a lot of now it's like, at the end of the day, it's about being practical in a relationship. What is practical? At the end of the day, what I am able to give into a relationship. This is me. This is my past. This is how I have been. This is what is my work. This is the time I can give, and everything. I'm being very open. And if the opposite person understands this, and I respect their space. So yeah, the best thing I like in a relationship is you need to have your own space. I need to have my own space.
Yeah.
You need to have a life for yourself. I need to have a life for yourself. It's just the two people, two different individuals living in one place.
Yeah.
I don't buy this concept of one life, two people sharing it.
It'll get
I'm like,
exhausting.
yes.
Yeah.
So I've been in that one phase where like it didn't work out for me. But it may turn out to be beautiful for a lot of other people.
Yeah.
And no doubts about that. And a lot of people want that, two people, one life. But my thing is different. I want to have a partner who is independent, who is self-made, who is working, who has her own friend circle. And she becomes part of me and I become part of her.
Yeah.
And it's not like, everywhere we go, it has to be clingy,
Yeah.
pooky.
Yeah. Basically adding value.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
just
like,
have that value
I
to
think
their already
respecting
existing
our
life.
own privacy and
Got
space is what I think at this point of time I'm seeing in a relationship.
Okay, that's nice. I think people who are watching make notes.
Yeah, please.
But yeah, please, sir, I get a So, what's the most romantic thing someone has ever done for you?
Good question. எனக்கு பதில் சொல்லனாலும் அடி விழும் பதில் சொன்னாலும் அடி விழும். In one of the relationships, I had a girl who was like giving me gifts. Like in the Feb 14 வரும்ல, அப்போது அந்த Feb 14க்கு முன்னாடி ஒரு டே, ரோஸ் டே, இந்த டே அந்த டே இப்படின்ட்டு நிறைய டேஸ்லாம் இருக்கான். ஸோ எல்லா டேக்கும் சேர்த்து ஒரு கிஃப்ட் வாங்கி வச்சு என்னை மீட் பண்ண முடியல, ஏன்னா ஐ வாஸ் பிஸி அட் ஒர்க். ஸோ எவ்ரி டேக்கு வந்து அது இதுன்னு சொல்லி ஒரு கிஃப்ட். ஆல்வேஸ் பீங் ஆன் த கிவிங் சைட். For the first time I was on the receiving side. Like it was all small gifts, not like this costly ones, but it was effort. And the effort எனக்கு பிடிச்சிருந்தது. Like in my film also I have this dialogue in films. ஒரு பொண்ணுக்கு நீ கொடுக்குற கிஃப்டோட நீ அது போடுற எஃபர்ட்ஸ் தான் அவளை இம்ப்ரெஸ் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்ட்டு. பசங்களுக்கே அப்படி தான் கிஃப்டோட. I think it's the same. So for the first time it was on the receiving side, it was actually nice.
Okay, so Ashwath, your films have a mix of fantasy and reality, right? Do you believe in fate?
Of course.
So you do believe that உனக்கு எழுதி வச்சது தான் நடக்குதுன்னு நீ நினைக்கிறியா, இல்லனா you can write your own fate ன்னு நீ நினைக்கிறியா?
It's a very very deep question, Mercy. It's not a question where like you can answer it like this in one word.
Yeah.
I feel fate is something somewhere we believe it will happen. But I also feel we always have the power to change it, and that's why miracles happen. And it's a very in the line. If I say I don't believe in fate, I'm lying. But at the same time, I am saying you always have the power to change it, and that's why it is called fate. On a deeper level, life is very beautiful because you don't know the end point. Correct?
Yeah, எல்லாமே இப்பவே தெரிஞ்சிட்டானா there's no thrill. Yeah.
But there is always an end point also. Some people say that is fate. So the life is hanging around between this fate and how you change the fate. Will you be able to change the fate?
Chase or change?
Change.
Huh.
Because say you're destined to be this.
Yeah.
This fate. No, I can change it.
Correct.
This is your hard work.
Yeah.
It all lies between that. So I believe both.
That is
And
so
if
true,
I say I don't believe in fate, I think I'm just trying to be heroic. Actually, no. I think a lot of things say the film has to run this way is fate. Maybe the film was not supposed to run this way, but we made it, we worked out to make it run this way, is changing the fate.
Yeah.
We don't know the actual fate is.
True.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. You've spoken a lot about your friendships, right? How friends are very, very important, and how your college friends are still, you all are very close and you guys still hang out and everything. Is there any friendship that has changed you as a person?
If you want me to answer real, and I've already told you this, but not because you are here. I think the entire idea of the way I see relationship changed after you both came into my life. And I've not telling this because I think I've mentioned this in Europe.
Yeah,
to both
you
of
did. Yeah.
After a certain period of time in my life, after all the running around and all those things, all those filmy things, I became very calculative with respect to relationship, and I let it go like very methodological. But I think after meeting you guys, after meeting you and your husband. I think.
Why that reaction?
அவனால ஒத்துக்க முடியல.
So I think
Yeah.
I still feel there is like, you can see the relationship in a different way. So you don't need to think too much into a relationship. Sometimes it's actually magical. You can keep the space open, not really. Not be very protective, have borderlines and.
இப்போதான் அப்படியே எமோஷனலாக பேசிட்டு இருக்கும்போது ஜாஜா இஸ் லைக் ஓகே.
So not be too. So not be too இதுக்கு மேலே இருந்ததுன்னா அவ்வளோதான் அவளுக்கு. So not be too too much restrictions, too much calculations. இது பண்ணால் A+B=C. I think I was trying to do that, which I'm not.
Okay.
And after meeting you both, I felt okay. A+D also can be Z. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Niketh, would you like to add something on this?
I'm glad. That's it.
சொன்னேன் கரெக்டாக சொன்னேன் வேர்ட்ஸ்
Yes,
சுத்தமாக வராதிங்க.
you should interview your husband.
No,
Interview
but
will get over in 5
seriously,
minutes.
I think I have
You
to
ask
tell
some question,
this.
no, I'll answer your husband. Just ask me one question.
What's the most romantic thing someone's done for you?
I should keep it private. That's why it's romantic.
That is so true. I think I have to tell this on this episode especially because I've got many messages asking why aren't you doing a podcast with your husband? And yeah, this is the answer, guys.
that's
This is all he will talk.
Yeah, it'll be like a reel. What's the point?
Okay, what's a deal breaker for you in a relationship?
What does a deal breaker means?
Like இது நடந்தா இதுக்கு this is a complete no for me.
That's crossing that boundaries.
Okay.
Trying to intervene in the personal space. I think as a creator, you need your personal space to be little creative.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
So, like crossing that line was an issue which I tried to handle in one of the relationship and I couldn't do it well.
Okay.
It was though the girl was great and everything, but I felt I cannot handle that.
Okay.
So I think that is the deal breaker. I think for me, I think I need to have my personal space because at the end of the day, your mind works. As a writer, creator, it's a very tough space to be in. Actually,
True.
It's very hard.
One thing about Dragon, actually, I have one question about Dragon. That when I watched this film, I thought why this happened. When Kirti comes back and she's apologizing to Dragon, right? That I'm sorry, I left you in such a in a hard time or something like that. And she also says, conveys it in a way where she's not happy in her marriage. I understand it's guilt, but my question was, why does she even have to apologize? Because when they break up, I felt anybody would have broken up in her space. She doesn't have to apologize, is what I felt. What is the thought behind it?
Actually, she didn't apologize.
Yeah, that's actually true.
She's
Okay.
not apologizing.
Okay, but she's feeling...
She didn't say, I'm wrong that I left you anywhere.
Yeah, she
If you
didn't say
notice,
wrong.
I'm sorry for leaving you is not the word she says.
What does she say actually?
She says just sorry.
That is
No,
apologizing.
no. She says sorry. No. Sorry. Assault kite out. Sorry. So what I try to deal with the girl is, we always, sometimes what happens is we try to portray women, we try to either glorify them or put them down to the lowest.
Yeah.
And I want to show a woman as a woman. Vulnerable, sometimes very clear with her decisions. Say for example, if you see in the first half of the film, nowhere you would have felt this girl breaking up with him is wrong.
Yeah. True.
Because entire sequence before that I would have created, this girl has to leave.
Yeah, true.
Even with respect to Anupama, first she was like, Ashwath, does it look like me leaving him? Will I be then? When she came to the set, and when I was performing, usually I perform with my actors and say like, how it happens. And she's like, he has to leave him. I have to give him back. Yes, you have to give him back. Come, let's go give him back.
Yeah.
So that's the attitude. That's why that scene feels...
Okay.
Sometimes what happens is, you love the person too deep inside. But at the same time, you cannot have that person in your life.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that you don't match. It doesn't mean that you have unloved him. There is love is always there. But it won't work out with him in a longer.
Right.
I think it is because of she leaving him, this guy has actually become what it is in the end of the film. The inciting incident. At the same time, in the second half of the film, I wanted to bring the actor back, the ex back, for the
Yeah.
cinematic fun,
Correct.
entertainment, everything. But why? The same girl who left him and his path changed. I wanted to bring the same girl to change his path again in the right route. And there is a psychological thing always. When you like somebody, when you don't want to win the conversation, but you just want good for them, the first thing you'll try to do is you'll say, I'm wrong.
That is true, yeah. That
You
is
understand?
true.
That is the psychology that I handled between them.
Okay.
He's extremely angry seeing her.
Yeah.
What she wants. She wants him to be happy in his life, succeed in his life.
Yeah.
The first thing for that she needs to do is put her ego, everything down and say, sometimes your parents, everybody, though they are right, they'll say, okay, I'm wrong. You do this.
Yeah.
That's where maturity comes. Because their intention is just to, not the win the conversation. Their intention is to make you
Listen
and make you do whatever you want. So the moment she says sorry, his ego is slowly cutting down. So that was the intention in the first.
Okay.
And she loves him deep inside. It's not like she is, though the guy was a bad and everything, still they loved each other so much. And he also loved her. I didn't never showed, if at all you see in the film, I didn't show anywhere like this guy is like a womanizer or he blindly loves her. She loves him madly.
Correct.
That's it.
Yeah.
So there is always this untold love that is always left, and you want the good for others. So she puts down her ego at the first, second, and the next thing she says is, "See, I tried to move on, but I couldn't. Like not in the way she wanted. It's like she thought she can easily forget and move on, but she couldn't. That is up to the character.
Yeah.
Why shouldn't a woman, think it's wrong that she can't still, but she knows it's not right for him also.
Correct.
And that's when I say, if at all I said the guy is actually bad, then it's when I realized your value. It is extremely stupid of her.
Yeah.
But I would have told the guy is also extremely great. The guy who I married, I can't do anything wrong to him as well.
Yeah.
So I'm stuck in between both of this. I'm just acting as if like I'm happy, but deep down I'm little hurt. Why? Because I'm little guilty, because seeing you again in this space makes me, because I've changed, my life has evolved, I have a great partner, my life is settled. You're on the same bench sitting down and doing all this you need to evolve. Is what she wants. That's when you say, that's what in the end when she says, why are you doing all this for me? And he asks, no, if at all you settle with the girl you want,
that was really good. Yeah.
maybe my guilt will go away.
Correct. Yeah, that
So
was so
the
nice.
scene starts, him going and holding like this is all set up and pay off. It's just to bring back that moment of, நீ அடி என்ன வேணா பண்ணு ஆனா என்ன விட்டுடு ப்ளீஸ், நீ அடி என்ன வேணா பண்ணு என் கூட பேசு ப்ளீஸ். She wants to have a conversation. People don't understand, some people, how important it is to have a conversation. That's why in the climax hero will say, if at all on that day of breakup, instead of fighting with you, if I had just made you sit down and say I would have cleared the arrears for you, nothing would have happened, right?
Correct, amma.
Sorry Kirti, I didn't deserve you. They didn't basically have a conversation. Even with Oh My God, it's just that they didn't sit and have conversation.
Correct, yeah.
Because not having conversation, listening to each other is the biggest problem. Here the girl doesn't want to talk. She just wants to hear him and say, I'm wrong, but please do great in life.
Correct.
That's her way of giving love. She was always a giver. And this was always a taker. And that's what he says in the last also. He says, you have always taken things from you, but never given you anything. So எனக்காக நீ என்னென்னவோ பண்ணியிருக்கான நான் உனக்காக எதுவுமே he stops. Stops. It's understood. So even in climax of Oh My God, it's the same. I know நீ செம்ம பொண்ணு, but I don't deserve you. It's
Got it.
So people think when you glorify women, you're showing a women character nice. Actually, it's not.
Correct, actually.
Only when you show a girl right, dignified. You say a girl, you're showing her as a prostitute also doesn't matter. Because it's a job.
Correct.
And how dignified you're showing her with respect to whatever the profession is.
True.
Is what matters.
Yeah, true.
You should show their vulnerable side also. It's not about glorifying women. That's not what they want.
Yeah.
What they want is, show me real. Don't show me what I'm not.
Correct.
Yeah.
Makes sense, yeah. Cool. So, before we end the discussion, one more question is that, relationships can have an impact on your personal growth, right? Like who you're with, the relationship that you share with that person really has an impact on your personal growth. And I know we've spoken about it, how your, when you were with your ex, how you used to do that one ad, get money, and then go travel and see her and stuff like that. That clearly had an impact because it made you want to work, right? Has any relationship had an impact or changed the way you see yourself?
Yeah, when I was called irresponsible as a guy, when I thought I'm amazing, when I was irresponsible,
Gave you a
it
reality
gave me a lot of
check.
anger.
Okay.
Then I wanted to prove a point where I wanted to, do something good, great. And at the same time, when you wanted to make the relationship happen, and at one point of time, you wanted to even settle abroad and, get this girl of you. Like, somewhere my inner thing said, this is not you. And this is not what you will be liked for, and you won't like yourself later.
Yeah.
Even relationship taught me that you can't do over too much.
Yeah.
It taught me you need to strike a balance. And I think all the relationships, whatever I had in my life, now I feel like I have to be very practical. I am somebody who allows the person I'm in relationship just come into my either. I don't draw boundaries. I'm like, it's okay, paathukalam. I used to be in this concept of, if I like you, that's more than enough. We can figure out everything else later. This red flags and all, we can make it work. I used to think I always felt first initial attraction, love is more important. Then comes everything else which you can sort out.
Yeah.
Then later now, these days I feel no.
Yeah.
Though how much ever you like the person, there is boundaries that you need to set, which you shouldn't cross first.
Yeah.
As a guy, you shouldn't cross, and you can expect the same thing from the other person also. How much ever, maybe at this point of time, everything leads to. It's like a movie. Every scene leads to the other scene. Every relationship leads to one another. But if you ask me, will you do the same mistake of again, meeting somebody random again and falling in love? I think I'll do that again because few things biologically you cannot change.
Yeah, true.
But you can be careful with it.
Awesome, cool. So we are moving to the game section.
Game.
Are you ready? So it's going to be love or hate, okay? Love at first sight. Love, huh? Wow.
I told you
would
I'll
not
never
have
do the mistake.
Yeah?
All my loves have been love at first sight.
Are you serious? Wow,
Yes, it has been thrashed, but there is a magic in this.
Okay, interesting. Public display of affection.
Adilna public. And if you're 2 timing, 3 timing, 4 timing, you'll be
Then
scared.
careful இருக்கணும். Okay,
Yeah,
புரியுது.
otherwise it's okay.
Okay, love triangles in films.
Love triangles. It's okay. It is. A lot of films have worked. Even No My Kadale. It's not a triangle, but if it's like one person likes other likes here. My favorite films have been love triangles. Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, Kallo Na Ho, Ranj, whatever. So it's okay.
Okay. Dating apps.
Dating apps. Because it didn't work out for me well. I can't say it is. So yeah.
So you're saying love, okay? Hey, you're being too nice.
No, it's
Ashwath.
true.
Label-free situationships.
Maybe what is that?
Basically, you're not labeling the relationship, and it's not a relationship. It's just a convenient relationship.
You mean this vacationships?
அந்த மாதிரி அதேதான் situationships,
Situation.
vacationship. நீ தானே வச்சிருந்த படத்துல.
Flirtationship.
அதேதான்.
Interesting-ஆ இருக்கு. So hard.
Long distance relationship.
It didn't work out for me.
And it's tough, yeah.
It's tough. You need to have a lot of
Patience.
not you alone, the other partner also.
True.
Point.
Okay. Oh yeah, இவர்
Badly
எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ்ல
affected.
பேசிட்டு இருக்காரு.
Yeah.
Okay, being friends with your best friend's ex.
Being friends with my ex is okay. Being friends with not my best friend's ex. Best friend's ex. No. I am a proper boys gang. I'll never be friends with my best friend's ex because my best friend will get hurt.
Okay, if Niketh does something to me, you'll stop talking to me. You'll be like, okay, Niketh தான் முக்கியம் எனக்கு மர்சியா இருக்கட்டும் போட்டோம் அப்படியே ஏன்னா நான் பாய் கேங் அப்படின்ட்டு.
Yeah, possibilities are there, Mercy, because I think
I am
firstly
hurt, Ashwath. I am hurt now.
a little boys gang.
That's
I
it.
have
That's
a problem.
it. After all that
இல்ல, அப்படி இல்ல.
conversations I've done with you.
Because you want me to be real, because I think
You're being real only. You're being too real now.
I won't hurt my friend first.
Okay, cool. The age gap factor in relationships, 10 years and more. Love.
Yeah, I feel I'm 21 still.
Mentally, you're feeling that.
Yeah, I don't feel like a 30.
Physically, how are you feeling?
Physically also I feel 21 only.
Oh, okay.
I'm still like out of this college and the mari. So I think age gap இருக்கிற எல்லா ரிலேஷன்ஷிப்பும் நல்லா இருக்கும். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் ஃபஹத் ஃபாசில் அவங்க அப்புறம் சச்சின்
எல்லாரும் இதே
டெண்டுல்கர்
தான் சொல்றது.
அஞ்சலி. ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி இட் இஸ்
பிரியங்கா சோப்ரா, நிக் ஜோனஸ். Correct.
But definitely I'll have somebody 10 years lesser than me, not 10 years older than me.
Okay.
That age difference I don't want. That age difference I don't want. I want only this age
Just
difference.
because you don't want. There is no logic to it.
No logic.
Letting your partner know about your past relationships. Okay, be open.
Yeah, obviously you have to tell no.
Couples therapy.
I wanted you both to go for it.
Yeah, I know. The whole of Dragon film, I have to tell this. He really tried to make me and Niketh fight and get to therapy, but then thankfully it didn't happen.
It's not yet over.
Yeah, that is also true.
What is couple therapy basically?
Just go for therapy as a couple.
Yeah, it's actually mandatory.
Talking openly about money with your partner.
Because you need to know what each other bring to the table so that you understand each other's mode of work. Everything it starts there, no? At the end of the day, money we're all driven by money. I think we need money to do everything that we want. So
Splitting the bill on the first date.
see, I had a relationship where we did Dutch the first few things, but somewhere I feel like I would want to
You are that kind of guy. Okay.
I want to
Okay. All
be
right.
the giver.
Long text messages.
Talk.
Okay. Taking astrology too seriously. Not happening. Cool. All right. With that, love or hate has come to an end. Before we leave, I always leave with a word. So, do you know what is ataraxia?
Atta?
Ataraxia.
Rabies injection.
No, it's not.
Then?
So, it's basically. Okay.
Atta?
Ataraxia.
It's just
Spelling சொல்லிட்டு கண்டுபிடிச்சிருவா.
yeah.
ATARAXIA.
attract.
ஏதாவது
Very,
He's thinking.
very giving too much of attraction.
No. I don't think you can find it with the word anyway.
Ataraxia. Let's stick to rabies.
Okay, so basically, ataraxia is a kind of feeling that you get, the calmness that you get when you're in a secure relationship. So that is what is ataraxia. So I wish you ataraxia in your relationship, Ashwath.
Ataraxia means finding that peace with the
In
partner.
a secure relationship.
Relationship.
Yes, that is what is ataraxia for you. Cool. I think with that, it's almost come to an end. Is there anything that
I would like to ask a question.
to me?
Yes.
Okay.
If given a chance
Okay.
to go back and date Niketh,
Okay.
what time period of life since you know him now, which period of time you want to go back and date him? Like say you dated him in 31, I guess.
Yeah.
Now you tell me which period of time from the stories that you heard
Wow,
you would
interesting
want
question.
to go
Very
and
interesting question though. I think after his college, till he started working in films.
when he was wetty in his life, when doing nothing.
Not like that, because I feel that's a point where he almost had
He'll
no
give all
motivation.
the time. He'll give all the time for you.
Not like
so that you can all have all this time.
You're not letting me talk.
So basically, guys, why this question I asked is basically from college to when he found work, that face is called wetty face, like in Dragon, how he's doing jobless, being nothing.
True,
it's
that
there.
is also true,
So
because
at that
I
point
don't
of
get
time-
time with him.
So basically, you should understand the relationship problem. What they have is
Now
he
we
doesn't
have
give
to
her
go
time.
for therapy.
They both have to go for therapy because she's symbolically saying he's not giving him time.
Okay, are you happy, Ashwath?
This is my therapy.
I think you should ask the same question to Niketh. Now we'll see if he wants to do.
From, I think, school. Actually from 16.
Oh, why though?
17. We'll grow, no?
We'll grow
see
together.
all stages of life.
But you don't know whether you'll be there in all stages.
That
There
is
are,
right. That
for
is
all
right.
the possibilities, you are, I think,
For
6 months you would have been gone.
என்னடா சொல்ற?
Because I don't think so you would have, I mean, what you are at 30, what she liked, maybe she would not like you at
Oh, நீ அப்படி
16.
சொல்ற.
But at that time, even I was 16. No, I don't know what I want. Now at 30, I know what I
Do you
want.
know still?
Now
Sure.
I know. I definitely know what I want. I want Niketh. அந்த வேலை முடிஞ்சது அப்படின்ட்டு இருக்காங்க. Anyway, cool. With that, it's time for us to leave. And
Hello guys,
oh,
welcome to
introduction Kriya.
Mercy's podcast, and this is Ashwath Marimuthu going to be interviewed by Miss Mercy John. Hi Mercy John.
Hi,
Nice to be
Ashwath.
interviewed by you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes.
How are you feeling today?
Great, fantastic. I feel what is that word?
Ataraxia.
I feel atraxia.
All
Okay,
right.
good.
Cool. So, closing notes. I think it was so much fun having this chat with you. I think we've already spoken about a lot of things, but today I think we explored a little bit more, and I hope people who are watching this will have something to take away from it.
Nice.
Thank you, Ashwath, for
Thank you,
finally
Mercy.
coming here.
Thank you, Niketh, for shooting me.
All right. With that, it's time for me to leave, and like I always say, be good and do good.